Welcome back to the podcast. Thanks for joining. So yeah, we're going to jump on into this thing and here we go. Appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, of course.
If you just want to just kind of introduce yourself.
My name is Ericka Sanchez, and right now I'm currently a student. And as well as being a student, I'm also, doing my passion, which is fitness. I also love to bake. So, you know, in my free time, that's kind of like what I do. I go to the gym. Sometimes if I don't feel like going to the gym, I really like to do like outdoor workouts and film it for my Instagram. I just have like a lot of fun doing that. And, it's also good for you. So just pretty much doing that. It was definitely tough at first, though, not gonna lie, because, I don't know, for me, working out without like heavy weights, I feel like, am I even getting a workout in? So it was like kind of like a mindset switch. I had to like tell myself, like, you know what? You have to adapt to the situation. We can't go to the gym right now. So, you got to find a way to make it work. And it wasn't easy at first. It was really annoying because I'm just not a home workout type of person. But you just got to give it a shot, make it work. And I actually started having fun with it in the end. There's so much you can do at home, like with dumbbells. And, if you have dumbbells, ankle weights, like you just got to make it work in the situation that you're in.
Absolutely. I'm the same way. I used to love doing heavy workouts, before quarantine and during I felt so lost and I was doing some body weight. I was doing some bands. I was doing some dumbbell stuff, but I just didn't feel like I was I was doing
Yeah.
anything to like make myself better. And that, like you said, it's just a mindset that you have to kind of get over, that mindset of just because I'm not in the gym doesn't mean I'm not getting any better.
No, for sure. And anyway, any type of movement is better than no movement. So that's something I really had to tell myself and just be like, you know what? At least I'm doing something. I'm being active. Yeah, I'm not lifting as much as I want to lift, but hey, at least I'm being active. So it's okay. And just, take it one day at a time and get through it.
When did you start working out? How old were you?
So I actually started back in like 2016. So like 4 years ago. I at the time I never really went to the gym. Nobody in my family went to the gym. I don't know, I didn't really know anything about fitness, but I had just gotten out of a relationship that I was in for 2 years. So I was, pretty upset, obviously. But I'm not the type of person that's just gonna sit around and, let those emotions control me. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna use this emotion to just fuel myself to become better. And that's what I did. I just started getting into the gym, asking friends, being like, hey, can you help me work out? I learned a lot of things by just asking people. People were actually really nice. When I was a beginner, I'd see people doing exercises. I had no idea what muscle that was working. I just go up to them, be like, hey, can you tell me what muscle you're working out right now? And they were actually really nice. And I just feel like you can't be afraid when you start to ask questions. Like you got to ask like a ton of questions in order to learn. You got to turn every situation to the positive. If you want to sit there and be down about it, like you're just going to stay down. But if you turn that situation to something better, like you're going to forget about the past and just look forward.
You talked about asking a lot of questions. Did you ever think about or ever hire kind of a personal trainer or a coach?
In the beginning, I actually did from my gym, but it's just very expensive, and I feel like it wasn't worth it when we have so many resources that are free. We have Google where you can just like YouTube videos. I mean, you have your friends around you, you have people around you. Now with Instagram, like, there's no excuse. I just feel like you shouldn't be spending that much money like in the beginning because people can take advantage of you because you don't really know what you're doing. So for me, I just like rather, look online.
And something that we talked about here on the podcast, I think it was actually the first episode. We talked a lot about gym anxiety. Did you ever experience any of that?
Oh my gosh, yeah. And I still do, honestly. Like, sometimes when I'm gonna go lift heavy, like I get nervous when I don't have a spotter. And, I get a little bit anxious just because, I'm like, oh my God, well, what if I try to squat this weight and I fall and like, but then I have to calm myself down. I tell myself, like, you know what, I'm not perfect. If I fall, I'm just gonna get right back up and try again. Like it's not that serious. Or I just put on my favorite music and I blast it really loud to just block out the distractions around me. And I notice that really helps calm me down. So even to this day, I still get anxiety, and that's fine. It happens.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of experiences that with in some sort of way, whether that be, anxiety from missing a lift, anxiety from, maybe not being able to lift as much as other people and feeling like maybe, I'm not as good
Yeah.
as they are, or anxiety from just going in the first time and seeing, wow, I really have no idea what most of this stuff is or how to use any of it or anything like that. I think that can be a very overwhelming time for a lot of people.
No, it's for sure can be overwhelming, but you gotta understand that you're not perfect and people aren't gonna judge you. And if they do judge you, you don't need them in your life anyway. Who cares what people say? You just gotta go there knowing that you're doing this for yourself to better yourself, and you can't let the negative energy around you bring you down. You just gotta keep pushing forward.
Outside of fitness, how do you keep your mental health kind of on the up and up?
Well, with being in school, sometimes it can be really overwhelming, honestly, just because, you have all these tests and, working, you just feel like you have a lot going on, at least for me. So I like to make sure that, not every day obviously can be fun. And like, I love to go to the beach. Obviously, I can't do that every day, but I try to make a habit of doing like the things I love, at least like, every other day, trying to fit in some time just to do something for myself, going to the gym, going to the beach, baking, just taking time out of my day to do the little things I love. That's really helped me, because or else I'd probably like go crazy if I'm just studying all the time.
How do you handle your own nutrition?
For sure, I am not super strict when it comes to nutrition. I've tried it before when I first started out in my fitness journey. Because you see all the time that if you don't track your macros, you're not going to reach your goals. So, I tried tracking my macros and I was just like so unhappy, because every time I'd eat, I have to get, my measuring cups to measure how much food I'm eating. And I just felt like, for me, it took the enjoyment away from like eating, just constantly having to think about, oh, how much is this? How many macros is this? Can I eat this? Like, it was just too much. And when I first started doing it anyway, I wasn't even doing it right. And I ended up for sure overeating, because I just thought, the more calories, the better, but I wasn't eating the right calories. So now I kind of just, obviously I want to reach my protein goal. So I try to have 2 protein shakes a day, like that's for sure. But then as far as eating, I just try to eat healthy, like I'm not going to label my foods as like bad or good, because I just feel like that's not good for your mental health to constantly be thinking like, oh my God, I ate this donut and, this is bad. And now I feel like crap all day. Like, I've been there and it's just like, it's not fun. So, and especially me, I love to bake. I love desserts. Like, I used to just have desserts on the weekends and like I was just so unhappy. And then every time the weekend came, I'd end up just binge eating on desserts. So when it comes to diet, I feel like you really need to like have something that's sustainable. It has to be long term. You don't want to do these fad diets that are going around that, you're going to do for like a couple months. And then at the end of the couple months, you're going to hate it. And you're going to be like, I can't do this no more. And just go back to your old ways. Like, dieting has to be sustainable. It has to be something that, you can do for a long time, something that is going to make you happy. So you're not ever going to just be like, oh, I can't do this no more. And, go back to your old ways. So that's why I just kind of like eat what I want to eat as long as it's healthy. If I want to have sweets, like I'm going to have it, but just in moderation. I feel like everything has to be in moderation. And that's pretty much what I do when it comes to my eating. I feel like everybody's different. And if you're into, strict eating and, really counting your macros, like that's perfectly fine. Like everybody's different and you just do what works for you.
Absolutely. So what do you think is one thing, kind of a big thing that hinders people from making progress in their fitness goal?
Well, I would feel like one thing, well, I have like a couple, but I'll start off with one, could definitely be setting a goal that's unrealistic. So, going into the gym, having this goal that, you can't achieve. Like, for example, like I really want to squat 225. But if I would have started off, when I first started going to the gym, that being my goal, like that's obviously not going to happen. It takes time to build strength, build muscle. So I feel like a lot of times people have these goals in their head, like I want to look like this girl on Instagram. I want to look just like her in 1 month. Like that's not going to happen. It takes time. And then they a month passes, they don't look like that influencer, and then they get discouraged and they it brings them down, and then they just give up because they're like, you know what, it's never going to happen, I suck. And I feel like a lot of times that's something that can just that changes your whole mindset. I feel like a lot of times too, even I do this, I compare myself to other people, and I see what they've achieved in X amount of time, and I'm like, man, like I haven't done that in X amount of time. Like, and then it kind of like, it puts a toll on me, because then I start thinking like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough. But then you have to just really take a moment to like, rewind and just think about it. Like, no, that's them and that's great for them. But this is me, I'm going to achieve it. Maybe not now, maybe not as fast as they did, but I know I will, as long as I keep, pushing myself every day and working towards that goal. It's not impossible for me to reach it.
And there's so many factors when it comes to achieving your fitness goal that you just don't know about another person, like how long they've been training, how long or how strict they are on their diet. Do they get 8 to 10 hours of sleep, and do they not go out, do they not have a good time while they're kind of on their journey to reach their goal. There's a lot of different factors. Maybe they're sitting back looking at your progress, saying, being kind of jealous of your progress and saying, man, even though I accomplished this goal, I didn't really enjoy the process. And I think the process has to be something you enjoy to create a long-term
For sure.
habit.
If you don't enjoy it, you're not going to keep doing it. You're going to give up sooner or later because you're not happy doing it.
So what's one thing that you personally struggle with that kind of in your health or in your fitness journey?
I think one of the main things is sometimes I tend to get bored easily, and repetition sometimes kind of just bores me. And it happened to me recently because, I've been going to the gym for a while now. So it becomes like, it's like a habit. You do like the same thing, like it's routine. And, I was getting kind of bored and I just couldn't do it no more. I remember I went to the gym. This was like last year. I went to the gym and I was there and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm just not happy. Like I don't want to be here. Like I had no desire to be at the gym. And like, it made me sad though, because I'm like, I don't want to feel like this. Like I enjoy coming here, but I don't know why I'm feeling like this. So I went home and I'm like, I really need to think about this because I like being active. I hate, not doing nothing. Like I don't like to just sit around all day, but the gym just at one point wasn't making me happy anymore. So that's when I decided why don't I do fitness in a different way? So I started looking into different classes. I started going to bar classes, boxing classes, Pilates, just a whole bunch of different fitness classes and getting my workout in that way. And I think that was something that, really helped me get back on track because I did that for like 3 months. And then after those 3 months, like at one point I was just like, you know what, like I actually missed the gym. So I ended up going back and then I was like, that break was what I needed to get myself back and focus. And I took that time to just like try something new while still, being active because those classes were not easy. They were tough, but it was just a different style of training. So that kind of like opened my mind up to, like maybe one day if I don't feel like going to the gym, I don't need to beat myself up over it. Maybe I'll just go to a boxing class instead and I'm still going to be getting a workout in, but I'm just going to be doing it in a different way. So since then I started going, I started just doing the gym again. I stopped the classes and, I've really been focusing on getting strong and I've been loving like every moment of it. It's pretty like awesome to see how strong your body can get. And just that break was actually what I needed because when I came back from that break, I was hitting weights that I have like never hit in the whole time I've been going to the gym. And it was just like, it was crazy. I just needed that reset. And I feel like you have to know when you're at that point that you're just not as happy as you used to be. And you need to take some time away to just think about, what you can change to get back to the point where you were. And that's what I did. And now I'm definitely loving it. It definitely helped me like incorporate new workouts into my weightlifting. Like I learned some things that I didn't know before and I'm like, this is a great workout actually. And I started like switching it up and I feel like that was what helped me because I just learned new things. I feel like you never stop learning, you can always learn new routines, learn new workouts, and then you just incorporate that into your workout and you kind of start refreshed.
What's one thing you have learned on your health and your fitness journey?
I would say not to be so hard on myself. Like when I first started, if I missed one day at the gym, it was the end of the world. I thought that I was going to lose all my gains, lose all my strength. And it sounds so funny, but it's true. Like I just felt like missing one day was the end of the world. And, I learned over time that it's okay if you miss a day, you know? If, let's say, you're just really not feeling up for it, like, that's fine. You don't have to go to the gym. Just do an at-home workout or just do something different and not beat myself up over it. So that was something that for sure it took time to learn though, because in the beginning it was pretty hard when I'd have to miss a day. Like I just really would not want to. But I just learned to, be nicer to myself. Also sometimes, you're not as strong at the gym because, maybe you didn't sleep as good, you didn't eat as good. And just putting your pride aside and like knowing when to put it aside and be like, you know what, today I can't hit this weight because my body's not doing as good for whatever reasons, and just knowing to lighten up the load, do that weight lighter, and not compromise your form, because I feel like that's something that sometimes people struggle with. They don't want to lighten up the load because they're like, man, like I know I can do this, but then they end up compromising their form, and you don't want to do that. So that's also something that I have learned, is to just, it's okay to do lighter weight, do it with good form. Next time you come back, you're stronger, you'll kill it, and that's fine.
Yeah, I think that's a good piece of advice, is just realizing that an off day or an off week isn't killing your progress, and it might actually have the opposite effect. It might, help you make more progress when you go back.
Yeah, an off week happens, but that's why there's next week to do even better and just kill it. It should be something that makes you happy and something that you look forward to doing every day, not something that you're like, oh my God, I have to do this today. And you just do it to go through the motions, but it's not something you enjoy. Like, if you want to do it to better your body, you want to do it to better your mental health, and you got to like it. You can't just, oh, here I am again at the gym. You're not going to have results that way, and it's not going to be something that sticks around for a while.
Yeah, definitely. So thanks a lot for coming on.
No, thank you.